Dog Agility Workshop with Stuart Doughty and Amadeus the Siberian Husky, learning to focus with distractions. This is Amadeus the Siberian Husky. This clip was filmed in Spain, where we have fenced arenas and run mostly on AstroTurf. As you can see, Amadeus has a fabulous start line weight, which is probably his only good point in agility. He wasn't looking at me, and as soon as he was released, he went to the man on the chair, although for once he didn't actually jump on his lap. He then took off through the tunnel, said hello to the next man, and then peed up the trees. This is his normal behaviour when he loses focus in Spain. If you think that's bad, then he's even worse in the cooler temperatures of the UK. The crowd are laughing because he's just gone to shower them with kisses. He has an obsession with people sitting on chairs. I'm amazed the judge waited that long to eliminate us. I apologise for the bad quality of the video. It was filmed in portrait mode and I zoomed in. The video quality does get better in a moment, I assure you. This is the only time I have dared to run Amadeus without a fence. And then it's only because there is one agility ring, so he can't cause too much chaos if he takes off. I missed out the weave poles on purpose as Amadeus is too off his head to be able to focus on them. And I won't ask him to do something I know he will fail at. As this is Chatsworth House Country Fair, there is a lot of trouble he could get into if he wanted to. He did decide to stay with me in between bouts of lunacy, and I was able to recall him. Obviously, we need some serious help, so I've taken Amadeus to an agility workshop with Stuart Doughty. I did have a heart attack when I arrived as the training ring isn't fenced. He's expected to work in an open field. You've just seen what happens when Amadeus works without a fence. This is the field gate, so you can see Amadeus knows how to duck under the gate and escape already. Just to add to the distractions, other dogs are doing a hooper's workshop at the same time, with only a single line of netting to separate them to the left. There is also a bitch in season in the van next to mine over on the right-hand side of the field. Yes, not only do I try to do agility with a Siberian Husky, but he's an intact male as well. Amadeus is a show dog. In fact, he's a titled show dog, junior show champion of Spain, so he's staying intact, and I will just have to work hard on getting him to focus. I loaded up my pockets with loads of fabulously irresistible treats. Amadeus isn't food motivated, so he's gone without breakfast to make sure he's really hungry and cooperative. I'm armed with his favourite cocktail sausages and diced chicken bought ready cooked from a supermarket, as I don't have access to a cooker when I'm travelling. When we're in Spain, Amadeus' favourite treat is cooked liver. Frankfurter sausages come a close second. Now over to Stuart Doughty.
So what I wanted to do with him, obviously we've got to keep his attention as much as we can. So first off, we're going to try and load him up as much as we can.
Yeah,
a bit of food.
I've been feeding him and keeping his attention.
So just go right, keep his attention on you. You do what you think, what you need to do with him, and then we'll see how it works from there on, okay? So your job is to keep his attention on you as much as you possibly can.
Yep, absolutely.
So
I'm not going to argue that one.
Almost to the point where the equipment is secondary to what you're looking for.
Keep getting attention back.
What was his name?
Amadeus, Ami.
Yeah, see what happens. So that's perfect. Where you've got his attention now, that's really good. Okay, so you're in control of him all the time. So just before you walk away, make sure he knows you've got the money. That's it.
She's just going to go.
Perfect.
What you're going to do. See you going up onto the A-frame.
Amazing stuff. Well
You'll
done.
get some good photos on that.
That's it.
Rebels,
Good work. Well done.
probably thinking, nah, I'm not going to do it.
Amazing.
I'm going to do an agility. We've got some shows coming up.
Good.
So I need to get him jumping.
Excellent. And then when you're ready, okay?
I took her out with all, we took your seesaw out and things last weekend, just ready for this. She loved it, but we don't know what
Keep going. Lovely. Good job. Working.
We are too far away from the camera now. I'll voice over the rest. I had a bit of a problem sending him to the tunnel as I was on the wrong side of him and he doesn't like to cross in front of me. I always worry he will pee on exiting the tunnel, but Stuart was in his field of vision with the tuggy toy to provide loads of motivation to keep his momentum going, so he didn't stop and pee. If you have a problem with your dog peeing in the tunnel, remember that they need to stop to pee. If you can keep them moving at a good pace, they won't be able to do it. I took hold of Amadeus' collar as I walked back to the first jump to make sure he didn't take off. I was also feeding him treats to reward him for giving eye contact and for some excellent heel work. I let go of his collar once I was sure he was fully focused on me and the food. He was a good boy and stayed at my side. Even in this environment, Amadeus still has an excellent sit-stay, and I made sure to go back and reward him for sitting each time, so it stays that way. rather than just leaving him sitting and then releasing him so he self-rewards for the release and not the sit. It didn't take long for Amadeus to try and make a break for freedom, but Stuart was able to block him and distract him with the tug toy. Amadeus decided on the whole he would rather go back to working with me. Well, for a few seconds anyway. The sight of the dogs doing hoopers on the other side of the fence proved too big a distraction, and he stopped to watch them. Luckily, he loves the A-frame, so I was able to get him motivated again. He did a much better turn into the tunnel this time. Amadeus decided he would rather have my treats than the tuggy. We ended the session there on a positive note, as the key to keeping a dog motivated and focused is to keep the session short and end before the dog gets bored and distracted. Amadeus had a rest while the other 3 dogs in the class worked. He only actually worked for 3 minutes in total. It isn't very cost effective to work in a group setting with this sort of dog. As I have 3 dogs, I much prefer to pay for an hour's private lesson. Then I can do a couple of short sessions with Amadeus and spend the rest of the time on my girls.
That's it, so get his attention first.
Our second go.
Good. Yay! Good. Good lad, nice, good.
I use dog tricks to warm up my dogs before a run. They're also a good way of getting a dog to focus their attention on you. From my dog's perspective, tricks are an easy way to earn treats, and the pay rate is higher and requires less effort compared to running around an agility course. Again, I rewarded the sit stay by returning to give a treat.
Good, that's it.
So far, so good. Amadeus started off really well and then ground to a halt at the same jump again. He does have a thing about not liking jumping towards a fence. He's always much more motivated if the next obstacle is straight in front of him where he can see it and he doesn't have to make a turn. It took 2 of us to get him going again. He's obviously not in the mood to cooperate this time. He does the A-frame well. He does love the contact equipment. Then he stopped. I suspect that his female dog pee he has stopped to sniff, one of his favourite pastimes. He does the tunnel well, but then I decided to take advantage of the opportunity to work on his weaves. He can weave independently of me at home, and even offers to weave if he sees I'm training the girls with some tasty treats that he wants. But he considers weaves to be too much like hard work when there are distractions around. He does a pretty good job on the weaves. But as I'm a horrid dog mum, I make him do them again. I tried to use the tunnel to build up speed, but it didn't work very well. He made exactly the same mistakes on his weave entries as before. He isn't concentrating at all well this time. Amadeus can weave without me guiding him with my hand and wiggling my hips, but he has already shown signs of not wanting to work, so I wanted to help him as much as possible to make sure that he had completed them successfully and we could have a big party at the end to celebrate. And on that positive note, we ended the session. In a 1.5-hour workshop with 4 dogs, Amadeus worked for just 7 minutes. There is nothing I can do about that though, as to push him to do more would result in him disengaging and taking off to cause trouble and undo all the hard work I'd put in. To recap, the top tips for teaching your dog to focus with distractions are: Number 1. Keep the training session short. End on a positive note when your dog still wants to do more and before your dog has a chance to get bored. Teaching focus tip 2. Kill the speed and keep the pace slow. Your dog is easier to control when he is close to you. If your dog gets ahead of you and doesn't know where they're supposed to be going, they will create their own mischief. Teaching focus tip 3. Train when your dog is really hungry so that he is motivated to work for you. Teaching focus tip 4. Use high-value treats as rewards, like chicken, meat, cheese and sausages. Teaching focus tip 5. Use tricks or obedience moves with rapid rewards before beginning in order to build up your dog's motivation for the food. Tricks are also a great way to warm your dog up. Spins increase flexibility and a good way of teaching left and right commands. Sit pretty gives the muscles a good workout. It's hard for a big dog to do, so Amadeus can't hold it for long. And that is the end of our video. Thank you for watching. If you've liked what you've seen, please leave a like or even a comment. For more great content from Disney and the Snow Dogs, subscribe to our channel and turn notifications on for when we post a new video. See you again soon!